सो हमने ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट बनाया था. Trading account for the year ended 31st March. Okay, and I said trading account is always prepared for an year. It is not prepared for a date. It is prepared for the year. So trading accounts के अंदर क्या क्या items जाते हैं? I'm not making the exact trading account. I'm making a T-shaped trading account. So buy, sales, less sales return. So this will give you, this is known as net sales. Then buy closing stock, debit side to opening stock, to purchases account, less purchases return, and then last was to direct expenses. Then I have told you that this entire thing, this entire thing is also known as cost of goods sold. Okay. Now, if your credit side is greater than debit side, you will get gross profit. And if your debit side is greater than credit side, gross loss. So this we have done in the last class. So from this trading account, we also get another equation, that is net sales minus cost of goods sold is equal to gross profit. So अगर positive आएगा gross profit, अगर negative आएगा gross loss. And then the second equation which is derived for cost of goods sold is opening stock plus net purchases plus direct expense minus closing stock. किसी को डाउट यहाँ तक?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So today we are going to start with the second statement or the second account, which is profit and loss account. So now we have to determine the net profit of the business which will be added to the capital. So for this, we are going to make an account. Okay, this is your profit and loss account. Exactly the same way you have to draw this the way you were making trading account. Left side debit, right side credit. And again, profit and loss account is made for an entire year. So profit and loss account for the year ending 31st March and the year. The starting point of profit and loss. Okay, before that, profit and loss account is a nominal account, and even trading account is a nominal account. We have discussed this in the last class. Nominal account are those where on the debit side we write the expenses, loss, and on the credit side we write the gains, sales, revenue, and all that. So the starting point of profit and loss account is transfer of gross profit from trading account to P&L account. So if there is gross profit, you are going to write it on the credit side. And if there is gross loss, you will write it on the debit side. So either you will get gross profit or gross loss. You cannot get both of them together. ठीक है? तो दोनों में से एक चीज होगा तो वो आएगा. Then on the debit side, we write all the indirect expenses. We write all the indirect expenses and losses. On the credit side, we write your all indirect income and gains. So that's it. Again, in the profit and loss account, if your credit side is greater than the debit side, you will get net profit. And if your credit side is less than debit side, net loss. ठीक है गाइस, ये लिख लिया आप सबने?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And any doubt till now?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's look at what are the indirect expenses. So expenses which are not direct, we have done all these direct expenses in the previous class. So expenses which are not direct are indirect. So let's classify them. Indirect expenses first are office and administrative expenses. So what all is included here? You have your office salaries. Now salaries can be given to you as either they will mention just the word salaries or they will mention it as salaries and wages. So either way it is written, it is a part of profit and loss account. Please do not get confused that wages is written, so it will be a part of trading account. No. If in the question they have mentioned wages and salaries, then it is a part of trading account. But if they have mentioned salaries first and later wages, it's a part of profit and loss account. It is not a direct expense. So office salaries is a part of office and administrative expense. Then you have office rent. So either they will mention office rent, or simply if they have mentioned rent also, then also it's the same thing. Then office lighting, printing and stationery, mm, postage, telephone charges, audit fees, trade expenses. Okay. So guys, please do not get confused by trade expenses. So most of the students, what they do is they will read this trade expense and they will say trade likha hua tha. So that's why we have put this in trading account. So trade expenses, please remember, it is a indirect expense. It is not a direct expense. Trade expense will be shown in profit and loss account, not direct expense. Then you have journal expenses, and they can be more. You can also get legal charges. Okay, the list goes on, but these are the general expenses which you should know. Okay. Now, in your exam or in your book, the questions are given. They are not going to ask you classify them under office and admin expense. See, you have to learn the direct expense. Matlab, whatever expenses we have written in trading account, whatever direct expenses we have written in trading account, we should know that. Those expenses which are not going in trading account, they all will be indirect expense. It will be shown in P&L account. They will not ask you to make separate heads like office and administrative expenses, then selling and distribution expenses. They're not going to ask you to make separate heads and classify the expenses under those heads. So you should learn the direct expenses. Rest everything will fall in the P&L account on the debit side. Okay, we don't have to make any classification, but you should know. Done? Have you written this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Karthik, Anvi, done.
Yes, sir.
Second you have is selling and distribution expenses. So here we can get commission to salesmen, advertisement expenses. Hmm. Hmm. Then we have package, freight outwards. Inwards is a part of trading account. Outwards is a part of P&L account. Carriage on sales, or you can also say cartage on sales. or you can simply mention carriage, cartage, outwards. Anything can be given. Bad debts, and that's it. Okay, these are selling and distribution expenses. The next expenses are finance expenses. Finance expenses are those expenses which has been incurred while arranging finance for the business. So let's say I have taken a bank loan of 5 crores to start off with my business. Now, to obtain that 5 crores, I must have made some expenses. What are those expenses? The interest which I'm paying on the loan, that is one of the finance expense. वो जो 5 करोड़ मेरे पास आया है बैंक से, बैंक मेरे से क्या चार्ज कर रहा है? Every month, every year, bank is charging interest on that. So that's a finance expense, that interest which I'm paying. Okay. So interest on loan, and we can also interest on capital. Then और क्या होगा इसमें? That's it. ये दोनों आने चाहिए, इसके अलावा तो अभी और कुछ नहीं है इसमें. And last we have miscellaneous expenses. Miscellaneous expenses. These includes expenses like charity, depreciation on fixed asset, repairs, and renewal. And these are the expenses. Apart from expenses, we also have losses in the business, like loss by theft, loss by fire, loss on sale of fixed assets. ठीक है गाइस, ये सारा आपका डेबिट साइड पे आता है P&L अकाउंट के. लेट मी नो इफ यू हैव रिटन.
Sir, we'll write from the recording only ना. आप
तो
कंटिन्यू
अभी
कर
लिख
लो.
नहीं रहा?
नहीं सर, मैं लिख रहा हूँ, लेकिन आप ऐसे वेट कर रहे हो, इसके बजाय आप करवा लो, फिर बाद में कर लेंगे जो बचा होगा बीच बीच में.
ऋषि लिख लिया ये जो लिखा है?
हाँ जी सर, लिख ही रहा हूँ.
कल मैं चेक करूंगा, अगर तूने नहीं लिखा होगा मैं आगे प्रोसीड नहीं करूंगा चैप्टर में.
सर काम भेज देता हूँ.
अनवी, कार्तिक डन?
So just writing the last point.
Anvi, how much have they covered in the school?
So just the trading account till now.
Okay. And I think they have given some list now, some table in your school. According to that table only you have to do the question, something like that.
So it was basically a shortcut for doing the numericals of cost of goods sold and net sales. Like, if the gross profit, we need to find out the gross profit and the percentage value is given, like
Mm-hmm.
25% of COGS, and the
Mm-hmm.
net sales is given. So the next say So basically, it is 1/4 of COGS, and the net sales value would always be one more of the COGS value. So that would become 1/5 of net sales.
So you have to write it like that only.
Mhm. Yes, apparently, ma'am told us that she would prefer if we write it like that.
Okay, so I'll send questions na related to that concept only today. So I don't
Yes.
know how many more classes you have in school, but I think she will be able to complete profit and loss account and balance sheet. She will not be able to start off with the next chapter, which is financial statement adjustments. So just get it clarified now from your school tomorrow that only financial statements is coming or financial statement adjustment is coming. Because financial statement adjustment is a huge chapter and it requires to do like you have to practice a lot to get control over that chapter. So just get that clarified tomorrow, no?
Yes, so I don't think we'll be able to cover that, and not most probably not even the balance sheet, because tomorrow ma'am is going to be taking the doubts from the paper.
Okay, so tomorrow is your Tuesday, no? So you
Yes,
have
sir.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You have 4 days. She will cover up. She will cover up easily.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Most probably.
ठीक है. So next is your items that will be shown on the credit side. So credit side पे क्या क्या आता है? Credit side पे you have indirect income and gains. Indirect income and gains. So इनडायरेक्ट इनकम एंड गेन के अंदर सबसे पहला आप लिखोगे सो इंटरेस्ट received on investments, rent, commission received, interest on drawings, profit on sale of fixed assets. Please note that drawings, example, income tax paid, life insurance premium, it is not an expense. It is deducted from capital from the balance sheet. It is not shown in P&L. ठीक है? It is not an expense. Hence, in P&L account, this will not be shown. It is deducted from capital in the balance sheet. Written guys, आगे move करें. Rushail, Karthik, Anvi, done?
Sir, last line. Sir, done.
Okay, if nothing is specified in the question about carriage, cartage, rate, royalty, and power, then they are direct expenses. And where do we put direct expenses? Trading account. If nothing is mentioned about insurance, rent and rates, and lighting, then debit to profit and loss account, they will be treated as indirect expenses. क्लियर? किसी को डाउट है इसमें? डन गाइस, सबने लिख लिया?
Yes, sir.
ओके, अनवी, कार्तिक, रिटन?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, last point. If question is silent about debit or credit balance of certain accounts like rent, interest, discount, commission. In this situation, they will be treated as expense of the business. So we don't know whether they have a debit balance or a credit balance. Then they will be treated as expense of the business and debited to profit and loss account. Okay, so to buy gross profit, and if there is a loss, to gross loss. What else do we write? We write all the indirect expenses on the debit side. And why do we write it on the debit side? Because P&L account is a nominal account. In nominal account, we debit all expenses. So now, indirect expenses can be further broken down into two parts. Operating expenses, non-operating expenses. So most probably in class 11, they should not be testing you with what are operating expenses and what are non-operating expenses. But I'll just give you a taste of it. Like you should know it because you are doing profit and loss. What is the difference between the two? So operating expenses are those which are related to the core operations of the business. Let's say there is a manufacturing company and it is manufacturing steel. Okay. So whatever expenses related to steel manufacturing, selling it in the market, they are operating expenses. So operating expenses are the expenses which are done on the day-to-day basis and it is related to core operations of the business. If you shut down the business, your operating expenses will become zero. And as your business grows, these operating expenses will also grow. So basically, as your sales grows, operating expenses will grow because they are related to your business only. Non-operating expenses are those which are not at all related to your business. Whether you are making profit in your business, whether you are making loss in your business, even if you shut down your business, you have to pay these expenses. Example is your interest on loan. Interest on loan is a non-operating expense. It is not related to your business operations. You have taken a loan of, let's say, 5 crores for expansion of your business. Now, that expansion, whether it is successful or not, you have to pay interest to the bank loan. Is this clear? Have you understood this concept? कि non-operating क्या होता है, operating क्या होता है? Guys?
Yes, sir.
सर ये वैसे टेस्ट में आएगा क्या?
ये टेस्ट में क्यों नहीं आएगा?
मतलब थोड़ा सा डाउट सा हो रहा है मेरे को, एक बार आप फिर से समझा दो
कि टेस्ट अच्छा, पहली चीज, अगर आपको स्कूल के अंदर प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट करवाते हैं तो दे आर गोइंग टू आस्क यू दिस, ठीक है। अगर वो प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट नहीं करवा रहे फिर तो ये आएगा ही नहीं। सो दैट इज अप टू यू टू सी वेदर इन योर स्कूल दे आर डूइंग इट और नॉट। ओके, आई एम टीचिंग यू द एंटायर चैप्टर ना, सो आई हैव टॉट यू ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट, यू हैव टू डू क्वेश्चंस एंड आस्क आउट। आई एम टीचिंग यू प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस। यार एक मिनट, मैंने ये गलत लिख दिया, सॉरी गाइस, क्लास 12th का लिख दिया। प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट है, अप्रोप्रिएशन कहाँ से आ गया? बाकी मैंने पीएनएल ही लिखा था ना यहाँ पर, हाँ यहाँ पीएनएल लिखा था, ओके, वो थोड़ा मिस्टेक हो गया। हाँ, सो इट इज प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट नॉट अप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट, वो क्लास 12th में है। ओके, सो प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट अगर आपको आपके स्कूल में करवा रहे हैं तो दे विल आस्क यू ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंस, नॉन ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंस। वो बस इतना कर सकते हैं कि आपको लिख कर दे दे क्वेश्चन में कि ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंस का अमाउंट, नॉन ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंस का अमाउंट, ठीक है। बट वो आपको इग्नोर नहीं करवाएंगे, मतलब वो आपको ब्रेकअप नहीं देंगे इसका। इट इज माई थिंकिंग, ऐसा हो सकता है कि वो आपको इसका ब्रेकअप भी दे दें। सो यू हैव टू सी हाउ दे आर गोइंग अहेड। बुक के अंदर जो जो दे रखा है मैं सारा करवा रहा हूँ। ओके, सो
ओके।
ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस आर दोज विच आर रिलेटेड टू योर बिजनेस। अगर एक स्टील मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी है, ठीक है, उसका रॉ मटेरियल स्टील, उसका रॉ मटेरियल जो भी है, आयरन और वट एवर, एल्यूमिनियम, जो भी कुछ वो बना रहे हैं,